because I had to really do a research inside to get to the absolute core of what I am passionate about, and it was very hard to say it out loud that I just want to talk. And
yeah, I feel like you want to talk, but because you want to personally discover the people, guests and stuff, but it's also, there is something you want to, I feel like you want to bring the information to people, because you have access. You have access to those who have the information. You're
exactly.
Like, and you want to make you want to connect these people and the people who could be interested in.
Yeah, because my problem with the tutorial videos was I'm not that much of an expert in anything that's particularly interesting. I mean, I do a very narrow piece of the pie. Well, a lot of them I do in a mediocre level. The rest is not even worthy of mention. So I was like, what the fuck am I going to teach? It's just not credible coming from me, having failed the rockstar image, or being in a studio, which I enjoyed, but it's just like, what the fuck am I going to talk about when I feel like it's not a success story? So, and then it dawned on me that
yeah, a lot of for example, instrument teachers, they're like they do that because they haven't been successful. So
yeah, but those are teachers I never respected. Because
it's not because you were not successful as a rock star that you don't have that you can teach something.
I know how little I know, and it means that I know enough of the field to understand how little I know, but I also know that I don't have the patience to wait for somebody's muscles to build up to the point. I am very picky about what I hear already, so listening to somebody, that's really not for me. I don't have the patience for it. So that's something that I really had to realize in myself very early on. Because we had to teach, and I had students for very short times because it was just frustrating to me, very frustrating. And the other thing is that I'm not that good at it. I mean, I'm good at one particular thing, which is every single time I pick up the bass, it sounds like immediately. But it's, where the fuck are you going to use that? Nowhere.
Anywhere you want. Why not? Why nowhere?
No, I mean, okay, but if you want that, I can give you a DVD full of instructional videos. Watch these. That's it. That's all I did. Okay, it takes 7, 8 years of
yeah,
musical
but maybe
practice.
You could teach someone to do that in 2 years. That's your experience.
I could teach them in 15 minutes. That's not the issue. The problem is not in the mind. It's the practice that you have to bring behind that, and it doesn't worth my time, because I don't think I have the capacity, and I agree with Jordan Peterson in this matter. If you stand up and decide to talk to people about something, you better know at least 3 times as much about the subject than what you are going to present, right? So when they start picking you up with questions, you would know the context, and you would have a. I don't have that. I mean, I'm very good at playing. I was very good at playing in a brutal metal band, but the industry doesn't justify this direction. It was fun. I don't think it exists anymore. You don't have bases here, but and I don't want to. And beside that, somebody comes to me with yeah, I want to play Beatles and Scorpions, and I want to play some jazz. I would like to play some funky stuff. I can show you how to cheat, but that's not bass. And you have like Scott's bass lessons up on YouTube. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah,
what am I going to? I mean, I would love to come on his platform to say that one particular thing that I did well, and then for the rest of it, which is so much bigger, he's already there. I'm gonna compete with him. I'm not. I love what I do, but he is a good bassist. I was good in the bands I was playing in, especially for my music, but I'm not interested in doing anybody else's direction. It was very egoistic in my manner. I wanted to do what I wanted to do, and that's why the studio was in a way failure to me, because people came to us, and it wasn't motivation enough for me to. This guy came to me from Paris, for example. I was very good with slicing up drums and correcting drum tracks. And the guy came up with, and he was like, "Yeah, we would like to have the sound of Nevermore, Arch Enemy, this kind of." And he sent over like 8 tracks of drums that were played horribly shittily, recorded without anything. And I was like, if I bust my balls off and work like 60 hours on this, then I could probably get it. Cheat it closer to that sound. It's never gonna sound good because Nevermore and Arch Enemy and bands like this sound good primarily because they know how the fuck to play exactly that music, and there's that conviction in their playing that you cannot fake with any kind of VST.
Yeah, it's recording with that objective, and then it sounds like that.
With an expertise that's unless you understand that expertise, you cannot program it in. It just doesn't happen.
You can turn shit or tasteless stuff into gold music. You
can't, yeah, like Hungarians say, you can't build a castle from shit.
Yeah.
And
it's not even from shit, it's not from, it's from not...
well, lack of competence cannot...
Not meant things.
Musically, I always said lack of competence cannot be overcome with any kind of artificial help.
And it's competence and it's meaning also.
Sure.
What you mean when you play this. You can play the same drum part and it's going to sound in 2 different ways. And if you record it like in a brutal way, then it's going to be exactly. You can make it sound like it's brutal, but if you record it like super mellow and stuff, you'll never make it like a good brutal metal drum track. It's the intent that's important.
So to finish up the story, I was there, and the guy was like, "Yeah, we have 400 euros for this," and I was like, "That's good for 20 of my minutes. I'll do what you want for 20 minutes, or for let's say for 4 days, because we opened up a studio. So let's say 4 days of work of one of the engineers. Your drums aren't going to sound like that in 4 days. That's just not gonna happen." And he started, it's a business deal, I'm honest. But it's frustrating to me because at the other end, I have to pay the bills. So do I want to work with somebody's shitty material that I know that's not going to happen so that I could pay? And I was like, this is not motivation for me. I'm not interested in doing anybody else's shit badly, even well. Because it's not me.
Yeah, your problem is that you had to take the money and do...
stuff that I wouldn't have done.
An average job instead of doing what you consider being a good job.
Well, yeah, because if they paid me, to program some drums for them that would be suitable, I'm happy to do it, and it's cheaper than hiring a real drummer, especially one who can play, especially where you can actually record this, because software allows you that, and I understand the intent. I don't have the technique at all, but. Yeah, I do understand how it. I mean, I can fake it well enough that it's good enough. It's better for the buck than But they weren't asking for that, and I was like, this is how we're going to live our lives, and I just got so frustrated. I was like, this is not for me at all. So I left. Partially, this was one of the reasons why this was the worst thing that happened to me professionally. That I always wanted a studio to own. So I thought about having the connections in London, and then I built the studio here also. I built several ones over the course of years, and it was very much fun. I always wanted to own a studio so we could record, and then we did that. I was like, and this is not how I imagined at all. This is not the kind of work I want to do.
Yeah, because you have to go...
Because you have to do shit. You have to pay your dues,
you
like
have to
everywhere
go
else.
there before getting what you actually were looking for.